Hello from Kampala in Uganda. My name is Becky and I'm a missionary here in this beautiful country with Mission Aviation Fellowship along with my husband Dave. On my last video I spoke about a character in the Bible called David and how he found himself under arrest in a city called Gath. He pretended to be insane in order to escape with his life. And now he finds himself in a pretty uncomfortable situation, I would say. He can't go back home. Saul still wants to kill him. He can't disguise himself amongst his enemies. He's just too well known. So where does he go now? Well, we find out the answer in 1 Samuel chapter 22, verses 1 and 2, which says this. So David left Gath and escaped to the cave of Adullam. Soon his brothers and all his other relatives joined him there. Then others began coming, men who were in trouble or in debt or who were just discontented, until David was the captain of about 400 men. My dad sent me a message a few weeks ago now, which said that though we may be in lockdown, God isn't. He is still at work. I was reminded of that as I read this passage in 1 Samuel chapter 22. See, absolutely nothing can stop God. God had spoken into David's life and told him that he was going to be king of his people. That wouldn't happen for some time yet, but God was still using this time to prepare David, rallying people to his cause, giving him some pretty good on-the-job training for leading a group of people from different backgrounds with different problems to deal with. And David's road to this cave, to the cave of Adullam, had been a little bit rocky and not altogether righteous, maybe you'd say. He had run away from Saul and headed for the town of Nob and lied outright to the priests there, claiming that he was on a mission from the king. He had even eaten consecrated bread, which wasn't really supposed to be for him and his men. The priests who he took the bread from, and also the sword that they had stored there, which was the sword of Goliath, who David had previously beaten in battle. Those priests were later slaughtered by the jealous Saul for aiding David. Finally, David ran away to the land of the Philistines, his enemies, where he lied again, pretending to be insane. Some of those decisions are a bit on the murky side of the morality scale, and yet even that didn't stop God working on David's behalf. What a wonderful, merciful God we serve. So David, he was locked down in his cave. There are some similarities, really. He had to stay in isolation because of the danger to his life and to his family. For a while, as those 400 men were gathered to him, I expect that he really only went outside to collect food and water. Sound familiar at all? It's easy in this lockdown situation to feel like everything has stopped moving. Even now, as things are starting to be released a little bit, there's still that feeling of being static, of being stationary. It feels like all those things that we've hoped for and planned for have been cancelled or just postponed indefinitely. All those plans that we've made are in a state of limbo, waiting for who knows how long until things return to normal, if they ever do. But even if we feel as though everything is stationary, as though nothing is moving, God is still on the move. God is still working. God is still moving the pieces of this great puzzle of life to bring all things together for your good. You have no idea what resources he might be gathering up for you right now, in this very moment, to help you in the next phase of your life. Nothing can lock God down. I think that time in lockdown in a cave must have been a great moment for David to put his priorities in life straight again. Because he wrote some beautiful psalms at that difficult time of his life. I cry out to the Lord. I plead for the Lord's mercy. I pour out my complaints before him and tell him all my troubles. That's found in Psalm 142, verses 1 and 2. Oh God, you are my God. I earnestly search for you. My soul thirsts for you. My whole body longs for you in this parched and weary land where there is no water. That's Psalm chapter 63 and verse 1. God is on the move. You can be assured of that. But in this time where we can't move quite so much ourselves, why not take the opportunity to put things right with God? We can bring anything that we might have done to him, knowing that there is no condemnation in Christ. We can earnestly search for him again, putting him firmly at the center of our hearts, ready to run the race again, whatever life may throw at us next. I encourage you today to remember that absolutely nothing can stop God from moving. No matter how you're feeling, no matter what you've done, no matter how broken or hard you might be feeling that things are right now, trust in God, because he is still moving. He is still working for you. And who knows what he might be bringing into your life right now, what training you might be receiving right now for the next step of your life. Thank you so much for watching. It is a real privilege to be able to share these thoughts from the Bible with you. I look forward to seeing you next time.